Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early, 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about a recent Lindsey Graham segment on TV where he said something along the lines of, the Biden is all fluff, and I miss Trump. It, it was something like that. I'll get into it. But seriously, I want to start off. This brings to my mind two things that Donald Trump did that made it a total deal breaker, that I would ever have respect for Donald Trump or any Trump supporter. Two times. One, the first time, I've talked about this before, when Donald Trump imitated a reporter born with birth defects, and Donald Trump imitated him. Not only imitated him, but got the entire audience to laugh at his imitation of a person with birth defects. The most appalling thing I have ever seen. And in my mind right there, that anybody that can overlook, excuse, deny that incident will never have a shred of my respect. I don't care, if that's a personal thing with Donald Trump or political or whatever. Anybody that admires or votes for that man will never have one shred of my respect. I might smile to your face and agree with you and give you my polite time and conversation, but that doesn't mean I respect you. The second most appalling thing, right up there, was at the G7 summit, where Donald Trump found himself. I think there were two groups of reporters, and the pack of politicians, of G7 summit leaders, kind of moved from one group of reporters to the others. I believe that's how it happened. And Donald Trump found himself from the front at the back, and he actually pushed other leaders of the world out of the way, quickly tightens up his tie and puts himself in front. Wow. Can you imagine somebody doing that to you in line at a store? You're in front and this guy just pushes you aside and pushes your wife or your mother aside, pushes himself right to the front. What would you do? And the Trump supporters that admire that as that strength, that's America first. Wow. This is exactly why. Like I said, I'll smile. If you're a Trump supporter, I'll smile. I'll nod politely. I'll give you my time, my patience. I'll treat you fairly. I'll be fair in any transactions. But do you have my respect? Not a shred. Not a shred, because I know who you really are deep inside. I won't say it. I won't even let on. But I have no respect for you. All right. The reason this all comes up, Lindsey Graham. I've met some hard people. I've been in situations during my 20 years of using where I've met the hardest, the cruelest of people, where if you show the least bit of weakness, you will be devoured. You won't see the light of day again. Seriously, I've gone in areas of the South Bronx. I've gone, you name it. There was a place here in Connecticut, in Bridgeport, called Father Panic Village. It was right up there with the South Bronx. And confidence is not pushing. Confidence is quiet. The quiet people, the quiet, confident people are the ones that you truly have to watch and respect. I remember hearing this. I saw this ad. I don't know if it was on Midas Touch or something like that, where it said weak people see Donald Trump as weak. they see Donald Trump as rich. Weak people see Donald Trump as strong. And that's the first thing that came to mind. I didn't get that right, but you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. Somebody like Lindsey Graham. Honestly, I think if me and Lindsey Graham were face to face with very little effort, I could lean into Lindsey Graham and whisper something in his ear that could quickly make him cry like a little bee. I guarantee I could do that. He's about the weakest of weak I've ever seen. And it has nothing to do with whether he's LGBTQ before any Trump supporter jumps on that. It's his fealty. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that word right. Him and Mitch McConnell and these other Republicans, they're never-ending bowing to Trump. Chris Christie, Trump's McDonald's runs for Trump's McDonald's meals. These are people I have no respect for. But anyway, let's get back to the G7. What Lindsey Graham was talking about was he was insinuating that Biden, it's all niceties. There was no hard punches or meanness. And this disturbed Lindsey Graham. Yeah, and I have met people like Lindsey Graham over and over again. He's a weak person who's been bullied his whole life. And it's always somebody that just kisses up, that stands behind a bully and enjoys seeing other people get bullied because he's been bullied himself his whole life. And that's exactly what he's saying here. He mistakes this arrogance, narcissism, this bullying, false bravado. He mistakes that for true strength. True strength. I remember my dad died when I was 9. He was a fan of Buford Pusser, Walking Tall. Remember that? It must have come out before my dad died, because I remember seeing it with my dad. Walk softly and carry a big stick. And I've always truly believed that. So when I saw Donald Trump do that, just push the other G7 leaders aside, it was one of the most embarrassing moments. Seriously, one of the most embarrassing moments I ever had as an American citizen. To see another American behave in that manner, let alone the President of the United States just blatantly pushing other people aside so he could be in front of the camera. And then the whole tightening the tie. That right there tells me that it's all about the way people perceive him. I've got to make sure that you perceive me in the way that I want you to perceive me. It's an effort of control. It's a show of a lack of confidence. A confident man won't worry about his tie. A confident man would probably stay in the back. Confident people like to watch and take in other people's actions, other people's words, to get a feel for the room, to get a feel for other people, and then plays them and works them to his advantage without ever using any outward signs of force or arrogance or anything. A confident man, a strong man, will have other people bend to his will without the other people even knowing that they were ever manipulated. That's a tricky thing to say, but it's the truth, I think. A lot of strong leaders, not leaders, but a lot of strong people. I hate to bring up the dark side, the criminal world. Take, for instance, La Cosa Nostra or cartels. A lot of these people that have true power, a lot of times don't want to be seen. They want to stay behind the scenes. And again, this is more about power. Truly powerful people do not need to demonstrate it. They never need to demonstrate it. All right, let's get into this more, what he said about... He was insinuating, and other Republicans have insinuated that somehow that Biden's being too nice to our own allies. Over Trump's 4 years, we pushed away all of our allies. We went it alone. And just like the Indians saying, many branches create more strength where one branch snaps. It's the same with the world. It's the same in every level. The more allies you have, it's odd that I even have to explain this, but the more allies you have around the world, the more friends you have, the stronger you are together. This go it alone thing, it sounds great. They tried it back in the 1940s over in Germany. Didn't work too well. Just forcing people. All right. And then, so a lot of these Republicans say too that Bush is weak. Biden is weak on Russia and China. I'm going to have about 20 links down below that go over and over and over how Trump ignored Russia growing throughout the world, how Trump ignored China pushing its power through his 4 years as president. There's at least 15 or 20 links from all different areas of the media down below. I can't even begin to list them. First of all, how Trump wouldn't even take into account the story about Russia putting bounty on our troops' heads in Afghanistan. Even, you know what? I believe it was a true story. And even if it was just an allegation, don't you think you owe it to our own troops to acknowledge it and look into it? He didn't even do that. He took the word of Vladimir Putin over our own intelligence when it came to the lives of our troops. How can you possibly defend that? Waving your flag, talking about America first. How can you possibly defend that? What about when Trump went... I'm going to leave this one last picture in your heads. When Trump faced the North Korean general, went to shake his hand like he was... You could tell. I'm a strong proponent of your body speaks more than your mouth does. And Trump looked nervous. Do I shake his hand? Do I salute him? Do I shake his hand? Ooh, look at all his medals. Guaranteed, this was an older North Korean general. This guy was in the North Korea-American police conflict. This man had a hand in taking the lives of American soldiers. Without a doubt. All the medals, his age, no doubt. And Trump saluting him and shaking his hand. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're talking about Biden being weak? I'm glad. I am so glad that our stature is back. Our respect is back amongst our allies around the world. And you I don't even need to say it. You don't need false arrogance and bravado to earn respect. It's quite the opposite. All right. You guys have a good Saturday. I'll be back later with another video.